Hello, Mayhemers. Oh dear God, I've just realised how crap can I just sort of hair out? What people are joining? Though, oh Christ, that looks even worse. Anybody there? Anybody there? Do you know what? I'm gonna raise myself up a little bit. Anybody there? Anybody there? Okay, right. It is Friday evening. Hi Richard, hi Sandy, hi Tracy, hi Hayley. What I'm dreading is one. Hey Shelley, hello darling. Right, this live broadcast is called The Menopausal Mayhem Mothers True Stories. Okay, I'm seriously. I've just got to check that neither of my kids are watching. This is going to be a new series. And it's going to go from this live stuff over to I've started a YouTube channel. God help us, God help YouTube. It's all going to go horribly wrong. I'm really sorry about the hair, but this is going to be called The Menopausal Mayhem Mothers True Stories, and you've heard quite a lot of them from my menopausal days, my recent days. I have a past. Okay, I have a past. There was a woman who existed pre-children. Sorry, really quickly. Friday evening. Cheers, everyone. Anyone want to raise a glass with me? This is what we call our emergency Shiraz. It's £7 from Tesco. Not going to tell you what brand, but it's shit. Well, actually, it's not that shit. But anyway, here we go. So, menopausal mother, true stories. So, Emma, menopausal mother, had a past. I don't know if I told you, but in 1986, when I was 18, I decided to leave the country. And I decided to leave the country for various reasons. One of them mainly being that I was really shit at doing my exams. Cheers, Vicky. Cheers, guys. I was really shit at exams. My A-levels, my O-levels were just an almighty cock-up. And I made the fatal mistake of being in the same room as my father when I received them. And I didn't get walloped or anything. My dad wasn't that kind of guy, even though he is from Hartlepool. And should I plug his book? No, won't do that. But when I did my A-levels, I knew that I'd put in even less effort. And so they were going to be even more catastrophic, so I fucking left the country. I mean, that is how severe I do things. So I bugged off and went travelling around the world for 11 years. I ended up in South Africa. And I settled in Cape Town. God bless Cape Town. There might be some of you here that are listening from Cape Town. There might even be some people who've been affected psychologically by meeting me in Cape Town. Very possibly when I've been in the rocking shamrock dancing on a table with about 75 shots of schnapps in me. Anyway, so this is how the story goes. And this is one of the true stories. And there's just one of many, okay? Many people have what they call a bucket list. And they have it at certain times of their lives. I had a fuck it list, evidently. And I decided when I was about, I think, 19 or 20, I didn't know any better. I was immature. I was a child. I wanted to have a one-night stand. I decided I wanted to do what all blokes do. I wanted to go out. I wanted to pick somebody up, take them home, do unspeakable things to them, and then kick them out the next morning and not take their phone number and not ring them back. And being the utter twat that I am, it's precisely what I did. So I went to the Pitcher and Piano on the Fulham Road in 1980-something, and I picked up a guy at the bar. Good God, I cannot believe I'm broadcasting this to the world, but here we are. I went to Pitcher and Piano, picked up this actually incredibly good looking guy. He must have been, the beer goggles must have been on, big style. And yeah, took him home. I'd love to tell you I did answer, I can't remember. I'm not even going to pretend I remember. And I booted him out the next day, and he did ask me for my phone number, which was terribly flattering. I think he was just very polite. And I felt terrible. I've got to be honest. It was not the experience I expected, but I wanted to know how that felt, because I said it happened to me. It had happened to friends of mine. Ask a friend and all that. But I wanted to know how it felt, and it didn't feel good. I felt crap. I did that and woke up on a 30-foot boat and had to be rowed ashore. Oh my God, Andrea, I think you may just have topped my story. Fuck. You naughty girl, Mark Raymond. You know nothing, my friend Mark. We need to talk. Anyway, cut to 8 years later. I can't do the maths. Anyway, 8 years later, I am a print rep, working in Cape Town. Generally speaking, going to work without my trousers on or a skirt on, being a complete fuck up. And I'm driving down Cape Town Central High Street, and unfortunately I knocked a pedestrian over. I have never been so mortified in my life. I'm a good driver. I took my anyway, this chap just literally walked out in front of my car, and I jumped out, ripped up the handbrake. Actually, I did that in the other way. I ripped up the handbrake and then I jumped out. Very good thinking. Hazard lights on, the whole works. Man on floor in Central Reservation, and I'm laughing. I'm sorry. That's not funny. It's not funny. He looked up at me, and I just said, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. What have I done to you?" And he just went, "Emma," and it was him. It was the guy from the Picture and Piano in 1984, maybe, who I had done terrible things to, and then kicked him out and said, "You mean nothing to me." So I had a one-night stand, and that was on my bucket list. And then I ran him over 8 years later in South Africa. What are the fucking chances of that? So there is your first true story from the menopausal mayhem mother. There is another one coming up to do with a drink, which is a very well-known South African drink. And if anybody is on here that comes from, seriously, Nikki, absolutely true story. The only thing I would say to you, and it's really funny because I told this to a girlfriend of mine earlier on, I was kind of going through some memories of mine when I've been travelling, that we traded for. I mean, I had to take him to the hospital to get some stitches put in his leg. And he said, would I like to go for a drink, which I thought was incredibly brave of him, which I did do. And we went to a lovely bar right on the seafront in a place just near, it's not Sea Point, it's the one along, anybody know where I'm talking about? Anyway, great bar. And somebody wanted to know whether or not I shagged him that night. Answer, no. I just had visions of me perhaps pursuing my other bucket list, which is to become a helicopter pilot, and me actually crashing helicopter and landing on this poor fucker's head. So no, I didn't shag him that night. But yeah, can you believe it? One night stand, blew the guy out, then ran him over 8 years later, in a totally different continent. I did run him over, Mark. I caught his leg. He had 5 stitches. It was not my fault. He admitted it was his fault. But there is another story. In fact, there is a realm of stories. One of them is to do with this drink called Vitblitz, which is made in South Africa, which is 80% proof. And let's just say I had an interesting encounter with another human being having drunk this drink, and then something happened the very next day. So I'm going to leave it at that. I just wanted to say hello on this Friday evening, which is the 7th of June. It's not the 7th of June. It's the 7th of January. You see, I'm not well. Hang on, haven't had enough to drink yet. Cheers. Oh, nothing emergency about this. This is fucking good stuff. But yeah, when you're 52, you have a past, okay? You definitely have a past. And there are people who I worked with in Cape Town, and I lived out there for 7 years, who will absolutely vouch for that story, because they they saw the damage done to my company. It was a company car I was driving. Yeah, sorry, it's the 7th of January. It's a shitty time of year for everybody. It's utterly, utterly dismal. It's grey, it's cold, it's dark, it's wet, and we are all in lockdown. And I just thought I'd cheer you up with this crazy story, and there are lots more to come. So the true stories of the menopausal mayhem mother is going to be a new series, because I really feel I need to offload some of this shit from my chest, because I've done some really bad things in my life. I've never done anything mean. And seriously, that was not deliberate at all. There's something not right at 52 with no past. Absolutely, Nikki. And trust me, this past is, it's dodgy. But I just want to show you something really quickly that might cheer you all up. Look at him. Spoiled, rotten, in front of the fire. There he is. The boy himself. Who caused an awful amount of trouble this morning, because we woke up this morning to my back. Does anyone know anything about back windscreens? We woke up this morning and the back windscreen of my car was completely shattered. And apart from someone taking a baseball bat to it, because I have so many lovers, it may well have been this poor fucker who I ran over. I mean, who knows? But you need your own TV show. Walter, I love you. I don't think they could cope. But that's literally the first one. So there's going to be a series of these. And I'm going to try and transfer this over to YouTube, because how can I admit that? My kids are going to be watching this, and probably lots of people I know. But yeah, I did. I had a one-night stand, and I ran him over 8 years later. And I'm going to give you his first name. His name is Carl. But lots of love to you all. Power to the people. Friday night. I haven't got a feckin' clue what I'm doing. One of my children is upstairs getting drunk on FaceTime to a friend, and the other one is she's missing in action. She's in the house somewhere. We know not where. Anyway, lots of love, and I really hope you enjoyed my silly little story. There is not a shred of lies in that. That actually happened to me. Well, actually, it happened to him. Poor bastard. As far as I know, he's still out there. Haven't seen or heard from him since. Not a surprise. Love you guys lots. There's another story coming. Take care. See you soon.